Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. I'm your host, Scott Davenport. It's my pleasure once again to be here with Coach Chris Robinson. Now, Coach, we had a Thursday night game this past week. Usually, like I was saying before, a slot reserved for ACC football, but we were there. And, why don't you give folks sort of a rundown of your thoughts on the game, players that excel, because it was one of those, it couldn't have been any closer. Extremely hard-hitting game between two teams that, no matter what, are going to hit each other hard.
Right. Well, we could very easily be 2-0 right now.
Right.
And, we've lost two games by a grand total of 8 points, one in overtime. Both games had the ball at the end of the game with the ball, opportunity to win. Unfortunately, the other team has made one more play than we've made. I'm very proud of the team, the way they battled Thursday night. Go down 7-0, respond with a touchdown. Go down 14-7, respond with a touchdown.
Right.
The kids did a great job of responding when things would go wrong. And I've said this every time, and I'll say it all year. There's something different about this football team than any team I've been a part with. Very resilient. When things go wrong, they don't drop their head. And, they get frustrated, but they don't let it. They overcome.
Don't panic.
Right.
Don't panic.
There's a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, and Toombs presented a very physical run game that we did a great job answering the bell defensively, and Johnson was a passing attack with a very good quarterback, which presents different problems. And a couple of missed tackles, turnovers, 3 turnovers. It's hard to beat anybody with 3 turnovers.
That was one of the things, when we mentioned it last week, I think both of us made a comment, I hope we don't jinx ourselves with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anytime you turn the football over, it's hard to overcome. And, 4 missed field goals. And, we hit any of those field goals or take away one of those turnovers and we win the football game. So, you never know when a big play is going to happen in the game, and you got to make sure you respond. I asked the guys before the game, there's 11 individual battles every play. And if we'll go out and compete and you'll win your individual battle, we'll be all right. Well, we won a lot of them, but a lot of times during key moments, we didn't win our individual battle. So cutting down on turnovers, we got a great opportunity this week, and we got to cut down on turnovers and work on that at practice, and better execution offensively, a little bit better tackling defensively, very same scheme offensively that we're going to face this week. But, Johnson's a good football team.
Yeah.
They're going to probably make the playoffs. After seeing the ECI Swainsboro, they might compete for their region championship. So, we had our opportunities. We let them get away. We got to learn from them and build on them for next week. Another non-region game that's going to be tough.
Who were some of the players that you felt really stood out this past week? Because I've got a few in mind. I thought, Eric Cooper had a good game. You look at the entire defense. I mean, really, that third quarter. I mean, for both teams, it was just a defensive display.
Right.
What do you think about the individuals?
Well, a couple of people stand out to me. Christian Brantley. We asked him to move to center this week due to injuries.
Right.
And, Christian Brantley, Austin Johnson, Logan Fleming, DJ Moore, Kyler Morris, and Taylor. Those guys paved the way for 300 yards rushing. Now, it's not easy to get 300 yards rushing, and they did a great job of leading the way. And something that Eric, even though he does a great job defensively and he runs the ball hard, he does a great job as a wingback blocking. Him and Jaquez Lovett, probably the 2 best wingbacks total that I've been around, and I'm talking about blocking, running, catching. all the things you're looking for a wingback to do.
Right.
They've done a great job.
Well, that's something you touched on early on this season in one of the earlier shows that, in mentioning those guys also, that's one of the things, they're unselfish. So if they're not getting the ball, they're going to be, putting it on the line, blocking for whoever.
And a lot of times you watch a game live and you miss things, but like when we replay the game, we're watching Eric Cooper block down the linebackers. And not just stalk block and getting in the way. I'm talking about laying people out.
Yeah.
And, that's an unselfish thing. He doesn't care if he doesn't get any glory. He just wants the team to be successful. And that's what you need. And he's not the only senior like that. There's a lot of seniors. Like Christian Brantley going to play center, filling in for an injury.
And doing a very good job. It wasn't just, you're going to take up the spot, okay, don't mess it up. He was doing a good job.
And, there's a lot of guys that step up that are seniors, and I really appreciate those guys, and they've done a good job leading the program this year.
All right. Well, folks, we're up against a break. We'd like to ask that you please honor these sponsors and make this show possible.
I want to thank you for sending Matt Hatchett to the Georgia General Assembly. He's an outstanding member, and I selected him to be one of my floor leaders, and he's done an outstanding job trying to get legislation through the General Assembly, and we have some good things to show for it. One of the largest tax cuts in the history of the state of Georgia, reform of our criminal justice system, and many other important initiatives that Matt has been an important part of getting that passed.
When it's time to buy or sell your home, it's time to put the winning team at Century 21 to work for you. And our team includes Jody Tanner, Jim Jarrett, Pam Tillery, David Deeves, Beverly Forbes, Ann Adams, Raina Dubberly, Benny Helton, Charlene Brantley, Ruth Watson, Jay Brantley, Charlene Lamp, Yvonne Robertson, Karen Widmer, and broker George Durden. So put the Century 21 Durden Cornegay team to work for you today, and you're sure to score every time. For more information, log on to c21dublin.com. Call 272-1535 or log on to c21dublin.com.
First Lawrence Bank invites you to experience banking at its best. Whether you have personal or business needs, we're a full-service bank big enough to handle all of your banking needs and small enough to provide you with that personal touch you've grown to expect from a community bank like First Lawrence Bank. Looking forward to your future? That's First Lawrence Bank in Dublin and Dexter, member FDIC.
And we're back with the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Now we're going to go to some highlights of last week's game between East Lawrence and Johnson County.
All right, here it is starting to run power play. Again, Eric Cooper doing a great job, good physical run, about 6 yards. Here we are, 4th and 1 on the 39. And I trusted that offensive line to be physical and felt like they could get us a yard. And, that's Austin Johnson pulling, creating a seam. That's Bryce doing a good job leading through there. Here we are, 1st and 10 on the 48. This week we felt like we could get some things out of too tight. So we put our team of Sanders, asked him to move to tight end for us to give us that extra punch. And a lot of it we ran right behind him.
Yeah.
Because they were giving us what we hoped they'd give us, and
that's a big boy to run behind.
Right. That's 285.
Yeah.
And then
with speed.
Yeah, and when we get him over there, we got here's a good job by John Eric, little ends cross to Jalen McWilliams, and that's something we've been working on, and we're going to continue to work on passing game, and I feel like this. We need to improve on that. I feel like the running game's where it needs to be, but to be even more successful, we need to get the passing game going. Here we are on 1st and goal. Again, we run. Good job by Austin Johnson pulling, kicking out, and Bryce leading up there again. The offensive line really did a great job of dominating Friday night, all 4 quarters. John Eric came in. Darius P did a good job getting the ball on the tee. Wasn't a great snap, but a great job by Darius P. And sometimes you miss things like that. But that was a great job by Darius getting the ball on the tee. Here we are on defense. First down at the 35. Inside zone. Great job by Christian Brantley getting his hands up, deflecting the ball. And he's been, last year he played defensive end, and we've asked him to stand up, and he's done a great job playing outside linebacker this year in our 3-4 scheme. Here we are, big 3rd and 8. Jet sweep, and again, Christian coming in there, knocking the ball loose. A lot of black jerseys flying around to the ball. Big play. Here we are again defensively later on in the game. Of course, we had some turnovers that put our defense in some bad spots. But again, a lot of black hats flying around the football making plays. You can make up sometimes with bad tackling defensively if you got a lot of people flying around the football. And that was one of those cases right there. Here we go. 3rd and short again. Again, great job by Jaquez Lovett of wrapping up, making a big 4th down tackle, getting the ball back. Here we are again defensively, 2nd and 10. Second quarter, it felt like that a lot of times we were in bad field position, that Johnson had it going. But here's a good play by Terrell Coney coming downhill from his safety spot, making a big play for us. Here we are on offense on the 32-yard line. Again, we were going to run behind Artemis, and that's a great job by Kyler Moore sealing it off, and a great hard run by Travis Bell. He did a great job running with the football. Here's the power play behind Logan. Good balance by Bryce. Good pickup. We haven't hit any home runs yet offensively, but we've got we're 5 and 6 yard and try to wear you down as the game goes along. This is a good run by Jaquez Lovett.
Jaquez, yeah.
It ain't the first time.
No, it won't be the last. Yeah, I did that a couple of times last year in class.
But he does a great job, and he does a good job at linebacker and does a good job blocking for his teammates. That's a good kick out by Logan. Again, getting the inside sealed off, creating seams to where we can make big plays with the fullback. This is a good job by Bryce.
And just kept going. I mean, just keeping his legs going.
And John Eric and Darius doing a good job. I asked him to be the extra point holder. He didn't say he didn't want to, but I knew it was something that he hadn't done before. And sometimes you take those things for granted, when you've had a kid that's done it for 3 or 4 years. Here's a good job by defense, stringing it out, flying around, making plays, not creating a lot of seams. Here we are on 4th and 5. I think this is in the 3rd quarter.
And that 3rd quarter seemed to last a long time. I mean, there was a lot of hard hitting.
Yes. This is a great run by Travis Bell, just fighting through, carrying Johnson County defenders for a good 10-yard gain. And again, Tay Taylor, Logan Fleming, Christian Brantley, Austin Johnson, DJ Moore, Artemis Sanders, and Kyler Morris did a great job Friday night of creating seams that we can get through. And that was a good run. That again, that was Eric Cooper at wingback loading up on the linebacker, and him and Jaquez did a great job all night of blocking for each other, and when Bryce needed to kick out block on power, they all three do a good job blocking for each other. And there's Eric Cooper pancaking the safety right there, and That's a great job.
Yeah, the safety got a little bit upset after that play. And whistle hadn't blown yet,
That's
brother.
right. That's right. All right, here we are defensively late in the ball game. 2nd and 8. Good pressure by Christian. And Christian's really, he's a lot faster than he looks. And he's done a great job. Here we are offensively again at midfield, 1st and 10. Again, number 9, Eric Cooper's one of our faster kids, trying to get him on the edge. And he can make some people miss. And here we are, we're getting a 10-yard gain from Eric Cooper.
He does a
on the
good
jet.
job, too, of hiding behind his blockers and then letting the defender commit and then going,
Right.
you know.
Setting up his block.
You're right.
Here comes a little tackle trap back inside to Jaquez. That's a good job by DJ on the kick out, making the first man miss and dragging tacklers from Johnson County. That's a good job by number 1, Jaquez Lovett. Here we are, 1st and 10 on the 42. Another good job by Austin. Good hard run by Bryce. Again, I knew we had the advantage of us already playing the game. Here's a good run by Darius Speed. We got to learn to win and finish these games off. Rocket. Good job by the offensive line. Keep their feet moving. Good hard run by Pede. There's DJ Moore downfield helping Bryce get a few more yards.
All right. Now, Coach, you know, after taking a look at, I'm sure, you know, y'all knew it already, but, you know, folks can appreciate how closely matched those two teams were. And it's just, you know, one thing here or there ended up, you know, sealing the outcome of the game.
Right. You know, any one of the 3 turnovers, anytime you turn the ball over, it's hard to overcome it against good football teams. Any one of the field goals go in, you know, that could have and then there's a lot of little things during the game. You know, Johnson made a few more plays than we did, blocked a little bit better, tackled a little bit better. So there was a lot of things we could have done better, and hopefully we'll improve on those as we go along. You know, we got about 3 more weeks before we get into region play. Got 2 more non-region games to go. So, you know, hopefully we can get a little bit more healthier as we come. Peyton Brinson's out. He's going to be out for the Montgomery game also. And hopefully we'll get him back in a couple of weeks and we'll be as healthy as we can be.
All right. Well, folks, we're up against another break. We ask that you please honor these sponsors that make this show possible.
You've been saying you want it, and now's the time to get it. Pool and patio furniture in style with fabrics you want, comfort and durability you deserve. You'll even save on accessories and add your own personal style. Peak season and telescope casual furniture, a new category of furniture made of superior quality marine grade polymer, will not crack nor separate in any outdoor environment, and proudly made in America. Come see the full line of pool and patio furniture at MidState Pools and Spas today, and bring home a colorful poolside with the original Pawleys Island Adirondack chairs. Visit our showroom today and see the complete line of lounge chairs for your pool, and see the selection of Louisiana grills, the wood pellet grill that bakes, roasts, braise, smokes, grills, sears, char grills, and barbecues. Anytime's a great time for a Louisiana grill, and now's a great time to save at MidState Pools and Spas, located on Veterans Boulevard in Dublin. MidState Pools and Spas. We know pools. Score big with the Dublin Piggly Wiggly. Catch all the savings throughout the store. Score big with fresh produce, grocery items, dairy products, and don't fumble the handoff. Choose 100% certified Angus beef from Dublin Piggly Wiggly. Taste the difference today. Fresh food, friendly service. Piggly Wiggly. At Farmers State Bank, we believe leadership is the ability to help others solve problems. So we come to work every day with a common goal in mind, to help you succeed.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be a leader in our community, providing banking services to businesses and individuals just like yours for generations. Farmers State Bank, your personal banker, with locations on Veterans and Hillcrest in Dublin and on Birch Street in Cadwell. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Farmers State Bank, a leader in the community.
And we're back with the East Lawrence Falcons Coaches Show. Now, Coach, we got a game this week with a rival from years past, Montgomery County. We played them, close game last year, came out on the winning end of it. What are the challenges that Montgomery County is going to bring?
Well, their speed.
Yeah,
They've got got speed to burn. They got a 4x100 relay team that line up in the secondary and at wide receivers. So they're going to be really fast, and we got to make sure we keep everything in front of us, because if they get behind us, we're probably not going to catch them. So that's the challenge that they present, kind of like Johnson County, of quickness. And they're not just quick in the secondary; they're quick at linebacker, quick at D line, quick at all phases. So, they got a quarterback that returns from last year's team that can throw the ball and get it to the fast guy's hands, and he does a good job of scrambling now. Supposedly has been on crutches for a couple of weeks. I'm sure he'll be ready to go Friday night, but he probably won't be as mobile as he's been or was last year. So, we're at home. I hope and I expect a good crowd like we had Thursday night, and I'm looking forward to that. And the kids, it means a lot to kids when they walk outside and they see the big crowd. So we're excited about that. Friday, September 1st. I can't believe it's already September 1st at 7:30 at Falcon Field. And like you said, a long-time rivalry game between Montgomery County and East Lawrence.
What about with JV this week?
JV has their first game going to Eastman at Dodge County Thursday at 5 o'clock. Get an opportunity for some of those young guys that hadn't got any games. A lot of times you would hope that you get some of those young guys in, maybe a game that gets out of control, but we've been in.
They've been so close, there's no way.
That's right. So, it's an opportunity for those young guys to get into play. So they're going to Dodge County Thursday, and they play at 5 o'clock, and then the varsity play Friday at 7:30, JV Thursday at 5 o'clock.
All right. Well, folks, you got a couple of chances to support East Lawrence High School football this week, Thursday in Dodge, and then here at home Friday against Montgomery County. Also like to remind you that Thursday we have East Lawrence High School softball game. Lady Falcons will be taking on Southwest Macon, the Lady Patriots. Game time is 5:30. So if you can't make the Dodge County game, you can come and support the ladies, Lady Falcons, and be there. Be supporting the kids in your community. And as always, go Falcons.